Hello, everyone. Welcome to another 80% tournament match of SMO. It's the losers round, the fourth of those losers round, between mozurkz and LilAggy. And Cheese James with a bag of chips, apparently.
Hi.
I'm Troy Vathan.
Hello, Troy Vathans. Today we have LilAggy versus mozurkz. Pretty exciting race.
Yeah, and of course we are sponsored by vie.gg, vie.gg. You know, want to take bets on the matches, go to that website if you're a legal gambling age and in countries that allow you to gamble online.
Exclamation point bet in the chat. Both runners seem to be setting up for the race right now. This should be a very exciting race, and the runners are off. Actually, no, I think
No, they're just practicing.
I think Aggie.
There's been no countdown in the chat yet, so
I think Aggie's just getting his first load out of the way. If you're like Aggie and you're on version 1.0, the first load you do if you open up a brand new file, the first load you do right here will be the loads will be 2 seconds slower. So instead of Mario jumping at 34 seconds into the run here, he would jump at 36. So runners opt to get one load out of the way as soon as they boot up a file, and then the next load they do will be the first run of the day. So that's what Aggie's doing here real fast, getting that slow load out of the way, and then the race will begin. Looks like mozurkz already did that. And it looks like the runners will be starting the race momentarily. And the runners are going to be starting in the Cap Kingdom as per usual. Not too difficult of a kingdom. The only scary thing in this kingdom is left side. If the runners opt to do that, we can climb up the left side of the wall to save about 2 seconds and get to the boss fight a little bit quicker.
I do feel that also frog vectoring is a bit overlooked. It's like not not a huge deal, but it is something that is really hard to do perfectly.
Yeah, I guess.
As all vectoring is, really.
Yeah, but most of these top level runners have it down to a science at this point. Especially Cap Kingdom. Most of these runners, since it is the most played kingdom, all these top level runners definitely have this kingdom down to a science and know how to do almost everything perfectly. But we can still see mistakes. And just like Troy said, we're entering into the frog room. And we're going to be seeing some frog vectoring coming up here as soon as the runners capture the frog. Both runners are being synced right now, capturing the frog. This is incredible Cap Kingdom from both runners right here. Look at this. This sync is incredible. This is like... Oh, just like that, mozurkz failing frog vectoring and losing the sync. And Aggie setting up for left side. Climbing the wall. Ooh, missing it just barely.
Yeah, looked a little bit low. Ooh. And mozurkz gets a bonk.
Yeah, bonking there is rough.
So both of them getting second try. Both of them having to do 2 tries on the left side. Mozurkz getting a bit more of a punishment because of the bonk.
Yeah, bonking there and falling all the way down definitely loses upwards of like 5 to 6 seconds, I believe. Like, bonking from a high height like that is incredibly unfortunate and very slow.
Yeah, the animation alone takes 2 seconds, and then there's all the animation of, like, recovering from it. That doesn't happen until you land. So...
Yeah.
You actually don't have any control of Mario until, like, I think about a second after he lands.
And both runners entering into the Cascade Kingdom. I believe both runners are on version 1.0 of the game, which is the first release of the game, so we should be seeing some first moon skip here coming up. Looks like Aggie is setting up for it, doing the long jump, doing the cat bounces, who choosing to do a wall jump list here, and actually not doing wall jump list. Okay, sure. He did the setup for wall jump list, and then I guess he wasn't confident with the setup, so he chose to just do the wall jump. And mozurkz having a little bit of trouble with FMS here.
Not good.
Yeah, having to back it up a little bit. Luckily, this trick isn't the hard. Ooh, as I'm saying, that this trick isn't the hardest trick in the world to back up, but he's not getting the. Okay, so his issue here, mozurkz's issue, is he is not getting the cap return in the water. That's the reason why he's not getting in a fight. He's not getting the cap return. He's just doing a regular jump. Does he not know? Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Yeah, you cannot make that unless you do a cap return. You need the cap return for enough height. So I guess he just didn't know that at first. He didn't realize that he needed that. I don't know what his issue was there. But Aggie finishing off the boss. So it looks like the runners are about one boss fight apart, a little bit more than that. Very unfortunate that mozurkz was not able to back up that FMS cleanly.
Yeah, that's fairly significant for this early in the run.
Yeah, making a mistake that big this early is not good at all. And the mistake he made, I'll say, it wasn't like the biggest mistake in the world, but he just didn't know how to back it up was his issue. And mozurkz killing off Madame Brutal. Moving on to grab the last 2 moons of the kingdom. Again, moving on up to the cliffside moon, and then going to be moving on to the chest moon, where you want to do a moon clip through the ceiling to skip some movement. And it looks like he did get the clip, and he's going to be moving on to the Sand Kingdom, just like that. A very clean cascade from Aggie.
Only way to really be more optimal than that would be to get wall jump lists before the FMS.
Yeah, that seemed to be his only mistake. That was a really good cascade from Aggie. Let's see if mozurkz can make up a little bit of time and get the chest clip here. Nope, not you. I think what happened there was whenever he tried to crouch for the backflip, he was midair, and he wasn't able to do the crouch. He just ended up diving.
He missed the backup, not able to get the cap far enough out to bounce off of it. Basically, the whole idea behind moon clips, just by the way, is there's half a second where a moon isn't capturable. So you use that to your advantage by getting in a weird position before capturing it. So like above or like behind the moon, just barely. And like just twisting yourself mid-thing, so it kind of like forces you out of bounds because doing like a weird flip thing.
The game doesn't know where you are, and it like kind of pushes you out of bounds. And Aggie taking an unfortunate bonk there. Not able to get on top of this building here to grab this moon.
And yeah, not the smoothest backup either. It was kind of it was a good way of had to find like the nearest thing to improvise on, and unfortunately that was all they had.
Yeah. And mozurkz landing in the Sand Kingdom right now, while Aggie is moving on to the Hill Moon. Let's see if mozurkz can make it up to this building a little bit cleaner than Aggie did. Yeah, just like that, making it top of the building without much issue. And Aggie going to be setting up for a strat we like to call a dram strat here. He's going to be doing a triple jump into a backflip to get on top of this very tall building here. And then he's going to be doing a long jump and then into an up throw right here. Leaving Cappy there for a bit and then going to home into the bull bill right before he collects the moon. And it should teleport him to the top of the building just like that. He's going to be going for the leaning pillar, or whatever it's called. I don't know the name of this moon.
I think that one is actually called the leaning pillar. That's why I always call it.
Okay, I wasn't quite sure.
I mean, I think it's either that one's the leaning pillar or the other one on the pillar is the leaning pillar. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
They both have the word pillar in the name. So
Now
we're
let's-
half right.
Yeah, let's see if mozurkz can pull off Dram Strike here without much trouble. Getting the up throw, getting both dives. And as we see a mozurkz doing jam here, we're going to be seeing Aggie setting up for double Sphinx clip. Where he's going to be opting to do 2 different Sphinx clips here rather than doing 1 clip.
Yep, it's slightly faster because you can, at the end of the second clip, you can continue to go through the wall. You can just stay out of bounds. Just keep walking.
It's actually...
And you'll see that here.
Yeah. So this is the route you have to do if you do double clip, but the reason it's faster isn't even because you do 2 clips. The reason it's faster is just because you get a better bird cycle at the end. The whole time tip is from the bird at the very end.
Well, that and also it's just a straighter line, I would think, instead of having to go around.
Yeah, but
going through a wall.
Yeah, but a majority of the time tip does come from just the bird's location if you could do everything properly.
Right. Because yeah, when you leave, like when you enter the new area, the bird's position gets reset.
Yeah.
Or the bird cycle.
Oh,
okay, good save.
Yeah, that trick is extremely risky. That roll off the tower there is like very it's a very minimal time stay, maybe only like a couple of milliseconds, and you're it's very easy to die doing that.
And just by the way, the whole thing with that, with how the bird saves all that time, that's why like for the second sync clip, you pretty much have to get on the first try, otherwise it like becomes really awkward.
And Aggie just missing the bird
goes crazy.
Yeah, Aggie just missing the bird entirely here on the first go around, but you got a nice backup to it.
Yeah, but now it's kind of high up, so you gotta do some fancy jumping to get it.
No, Aggie's setting up for notes. Let's see how clean his notes can be here. Not getting the second spin throw, unfortunately, losing just a little bit of time to notes.
Yeah, that can be done in 1 spin throw, actually, just by the way.
Yeah, it can be, but it's just a lot more difficult to do that in one spin throw. It's very rare that we see that done. Now, mozurkz actually went for a single clip there, so you can see the bird being all the way over to the left there and not in a very good location. And mozurkz setting up for notes while Aggie is moving on to the Lake Kingdom. This is not a very good note. Okay, he got the second spin throw, but the beginning was not very good. He did not get the buffered spin throw there that he wanted. Now, I believe in the Lake Kingdom, I don't think we're going to be seeing any late clip action. I believe both runners are just going to opt for the regular Rango route. Late clip being a clip where you can clip out of bounds here and get the Painting Moon, a moon in the maze, and then the Hidden Lady inside the town. Those are the 3 moons you get instead of fighting Rango. And it says about 5 to 7 seconds over the Rango route because there's a lot of cutscenes associated with the Rango fight. But the clip itself is really difficult, so I think we'll be seeing it from either of the runners here. We'll just be seeing the basic Rango route. Yeah, Aggie opting to do the regular Rango route here. And I believe that mozurkz will be opting to do the same thing.
Yeah, no buffered spin pound coming out of mozurkz out of that ground pound moon. First moon of the lake. So I just kind of walked over to the hat to vault off of.
Yeah, it's a lot safer. Getting that spin pound Cappy vault was kind of tricky there. So it's a lot safer to just walk into the hat. It doesn't lose too much at all. And Aggie doing the Rango fight right here. This is the fight that we skip if we do late clip, but he's opting to do it and just play it safe because this boss fight is not too hard at all. As you can see, he pulled it off with no troubles there at all. And mozurkz about to do this fish jump before starting up the Rango fight. Ooh, that was kind of close. I'm surprised that worked. But it did, and he's going to be moving on to the Rango fight where I doubt he'll be having much trouble here. Yeah, just like that, he's finishing up the Rango fight without much trouble at all. And Aggie is putting his hat on the globe and moving on to probably the scariest kingdom for races, the Wooded Kingdom. This kingdom can change leads very easily with the scare trick we like to call nut clip. We're going to be using the nut to do another moon clip to get out of bounds and grab 2 moons you're typically not able to get whenever you first visit the kingdom. But it says about 30 seconds, so it's a very big time save, which is why the runners go for it. So we'll have to see what happens. Ooh, Aggie's struggling with this bunny a bit here. He's not able to hit it with the rock. A little bit of a time loss there from him, but not anything significant.
Yeah, once that bunny starts to... Once you miss the bunny initially, it gets really difficult to hit. Because even though it's in a set pattern, it's a fast bunny.
Yeah, for sure. And Aggie going to be setting up for that clip here as soon as he purchases this moon. And mozurkz just now landing in the Wooded Kingdom. Okay, let's see what happens here with Aggie's nut clip. Hit them not twice. That looks like it should be a good clip there. Yeah, and he's out of bounds. Let's see how he makes this out of bounds section work here. Can you scale this first wall? Scaling it quite nicely. Ooh, getting the moon there was a little bit scary. Didn't look like he got the wall jump, but he made it work. Can he get back in bounds though? Yeah, he can. Making that out of bounds section work quite nicely. Let's see if mozurkz can do the same thing here with this nut clip. Can he get one that was just as clean as the one that Aggie got?
Bonks into the wall, but it's not a huge deal as that has nothing to do with the nut clip itself. But I could see just from basically the one frame that we got to see of his animation of getting the moon that it just was not far enough into the wall.
Very interesting.
Yep, going for the backup.
Ooh, getting it first try, just like that. So, missing the clip though. Oh no!
No. Okay.
That's deep woods.
Oh no! Damn, that's.
Yeah, I could tell that was definitely deep woods. That was very unfortunate. He did not get a cap bounce when if he tried to go into the out of bounds section there.
Right. So this is pretty much worst case scenario.
Yeah, luckily he knew where the nut dispenser was and was able to get out of there very, very quickly. I'm curious what he's going to do now. I'm curious what route he's going to go for. But yeah, he's back at the beginning of the kingdom now. And just like that, he probably lost a full minute there, I would say. That's why this trick is incredibly risky.
Yeah, there's no choice but to just go back to like the normal strategy, just catch up over to the Rango fight.
Oh my god.
Or clip again, apparently. That's an option, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it's worth it at this point though, but getting the clip first try again. Hopefully it doesn't fall back into deep woods here. Getting the cap bounce that he wanted there this time.
Oh!
Going back in bounds.
To walk back into bounds, so now he has to go back around.
Is he gonna go for nut clip again at this point?
I have no clue. He is setting up for the movement, yeah. Meanwhile, LilAggy has just exited the tower.
Not getting the clip he wanted there first time. Aggie setting up for the spirit skip here. Gonna be getting the dead end nut and then the fast pipe moons.
Okay, he's in the setup for it. Has to get the wall jump off of here. Had to do a very careful camera angle just to make sure, and now he's back in bounds. So got the hardest part of that done, but still has to get up here.
Ooh, that's close.
And get the nut, and then get back down.
Yeah, he lost a lot of time to that though, for sure.
Yeah, somewhere between 1 and 2 minutes. Closer to 2 minutes.
Yeah, I honestly think it would have been better for him just to go for the old route and then just spear it at the end, but you know, I don't know what he was thinking there. And Aggie leaving the Wooded Kingdom, moving on to Cloud Kingdom. Well, mozurkz is about halfway through the kingdom at this point. Ooh, mozurkz taking a bonk on this nut here. Not what he wanted to see at all. And Aggie landing in the Cloud Kingdom here. Nothing too special about this kingdom here, just a basic Bowser boss fight. And mozurkz messing up the Fire Road skip. Gonna be setting up for it again. Looks like he got a second try here. Let's see if Aggie can get this first instant hat capture, and he got it. And it looks like Aggie is setting up for Bowser Manip, where he's trying to make Bowser hit Bowser in a way that he jumps on the least amount of platforms possible, just saving a little bit of time throughout the fight.
Bit of an awkward spin pound from mozurkz there.
Yeah.
Aggie getting the damage boost going into the third phase. Get the hat, no problem.
Yeah, for sure. And just like that, Aggie finishing off the Cloud Kingdom boss fight. Well, mozurkz has to get about 3 more moons before leaving the Wooded Kingdom. And mozurkz setting up for the Spirit Skip. Ooh, not getting the buffer jump there, so he has to deal with the stone animation. Now, Aggie into the Lost Kingdom. This kingdom is very scary. There's a lot of places where you could die and lose a ton of time. So we'll have to see what happens with him here. Hopefully he doesn't end up dying a lot here.
Yeah, taking the safer route of trying to land over by the purple coins, which is a slightly lower land.
Yeah. If you don't get enough height from the meme tree jump there, that's your safest backup.
Yeah, it's how I learned it. I think it's how everybody learned it. Aim for the purple coins first, then go for the higher thing.
Yeah. You know, mozurkz leaving the Wooded Kingdom now, moving on to the Cloud Kingdom. Ooh, Aggie taking a bonk there.
Yeah, so the object is actually to try to land on that wooden peg.
Yeah.
As a way to keep the momentum, but missed it just barely.
Yeah, that's definitely the best outcome there if you miss it, because it's very easy to die in the poison goo there, and then it's just a big mess from there. And Aggie going to be setting up for the cage triple jump here. Going to be doing a triple jump off this tree and then landing right beneath, beside the cage. And then going to be needing to grab the moon underneath the bridge before moving on to the Metro Kingdom. Now, mozurkz starting up the Cloud Bowser fight here. Let's see if he's able to get all the instant hat captures here right off the bat. Looks like he got Bowser Manip as well as the first instant hat capture. Getting the second instant hat capture, that's probably the hardest one of the three. The timing's a little bit more precise with that one, for sure. And the third one definitely being one of the easiest ones because you can take a damage boost beforehand, making the timing for this instant hat capture a little bit more lenient. Ooh, and just like that, Commentators Curse, messing it up as I'm saying that.
Yes, gets a yoink.
Yeah, no, there is a way to mess up the timing for that, and make it so Bowser doesn't pick up the hat. It's kind of luck, though. And Aggie moving on to the first jump here in the Metro Kingdom. Ooh, that save was pretty good from Aggie there. Aggie's saying it for Goomba bounce. Boop, just like that, bouncing off the Goomba's head. And then mozurkz just now landing in the Lost Kingdom. Let's see what mozurkz can do in the Lost Kingdom here. Ooh, that was a good backup. She was definitely did not have enough height to make it on the taller platform there. mozurkz going full aggro on that butterfly there. While Aggie is going to be grabbing this chest moon before setting up for the long jump over the void here. Over the big tower. This trick is pretty easy for a lot of runners, but it's a little bit difficult because you cannot control the camera there. It pans on its own. And if you mess up that long jump, you're falling all the way back down to the bottom of the tower and losing about a full minute. You have to redo the entire tower again. And Aggie moving on to the Mecha Wiggler boss fight. Ideally, you want to complete this boss in 2 phases. So we'll see what he can do here. And mozurkz setting up for the cage triple. Like I said, doing a triple jump off the straight and landing right beside the cage. Ooh, very fortunate.
So close to just landing on the root of that tree.
Yeah, and that's why that trick is... Yeah, that's why that trick is very risky. It's so easy to bonk on that cage there. But let's turn our attention back to Aggie as we see him getting a very clean 2-cycle there. A very good pattern that the Wiggler gave him.
Yeah, it's an interesting route for mozurkz to get there, because actually, you could have just gone straight to the tree and you would have been safe. And not going under the bridge.
Yeah.
And, like, just killing yourself. Like, just... Like, that was the easiest way to do that, to deal with that. Because you don't want to try to go for Deathless at that point, because it's such a hard jump to make. Because you can't land on the bridge anymore.
Yeah.
But you didn't need to do the tree triple jump. You could have just moved right over to the trees and jumped on top of them. I'd be fine. Like the bigger trees, the ones that you can actually stand on.
Yeah. I don't know, he probably just didn't know a backup for that, unfortunately, but it's fine. And Aggie moving on to the Metro Kingdom. I'm going to be setting up for this capture warp here. I'm going to be grabbing this moon and then warping onto the Spark Pylon. And then warping down to do scooter clip here. I'm using the scooter to clip into the cage that the moon is in, using motion controls, making it look easy, getting that drive-by. Ooh, Aggie warping onto that pylon there a little bit early. Aggie talking to the bench friend, seeing how his day's going, getting that moon from him.
Oh! mozurkz falling down, not able to get back on top of the building. And now is just doing a little bit of a climb back up. He's refusing to use the stairs.
Oh my god, if he...
Get the value dive.
Yeah. Not what you want to see. but making it up through try.
Hi. Oh.
And Aggie gonna be grabbing the Mecha Wiggler piece here, Moon. And gonna be talking to Otep before moving on to the top of the skyscraper to grab a couple more moons. Wow, mozurkz is setting up, about to start up the Mecha Wiggler boss fight here. Good first cycle for mozurkz. And let's see if Aggie can have some clean movement here throughout the rest of Metro as well. It'd be very unfortunate if he takes any unneeded bonks or anything like that.
Right, this is a really good pace from LilAggy right now.
Yeah, this is a very good run from him. I don't think he's made any big mistake yet. This is like a really good run, for sure. Let's pay attention to mozurkz screen here, as we see him on the second phase of the Wiggler boss fight here. Let's see if he's able to complete in 2 cycles here. Getting a really good pattern. This is what you want to see. You want to see the Wiggler do this pattern exactly right here. So you don't even have to move your controller at all, and you can just shoot, and he moves into your bullets. Perfect right there. Perfect Wiggler fight. That's probably the best cycle he could have gone in. And Aggie in the people's room right here are going to be grabbing this moon. And then the secret moon here, and they're going to be warping back to the Odyssey and moving on to the Snow Kingdom. And mozurkz about to start up the daytime portion of this kingdom, the day metro portion. And it looks like they're a full day metro part right now. Aggie just now leaving day metro, while mozurkz is just now starting up day metro. Mozurkz having a little bit of trouble there. I don't know if this cap is going to work. Yeah, I didn't think so. It took a little bit too much time getting into the that moon there. But he still has scoot clip here to make up some of that lost time. Yep, making it look easy, getting the drive-by very clean. And mozurkz setting up for the second capture warp here. Getting it first try, just like that, and then moving on to the bench friend. Wow, Aggie is moving on to the beginning of Snow Kingdom.
Bit of awkward movement going towards the Toad, but nothing too big considering how far behind mozurkz is, unfortunately.
Ooh, leaving...
Not something like to see.
Yeah, giving Toad some shelter there. Helping him survive a little bit, not completely killing off Toad quite yet. Oh, never mind. Toad's dead now.
And mozurkz getting pretty good movement towards Pauline. That was very smooth.
Yeah, mozurkz doing the early musicians route here. Where instead of warping to the top out of the girder, to the top of the skyscraper, he's choosing to do the musician first. There's about a second or two because you skip a loading zone. And we see Aggie opting to do Snow Gem because he's not getting the shot moon right now. Ew, and he's going for wall jumpless there. Look at that. Wow, freaking pro right here. mozurkz talking to Otep before moving on to the top of the skyscraper. This is a very clean snow from Aggie. Aggie doing everything like perfect right now other than that beginning section there. This is a very clean snow.
And you say that just as he's entering the poison room, the Typhoon room, which is Definitely one of the most notorious rooms of the Snow
Yeah,
Kingdom.
Commentators curse, but having a very clean backup there. Literally maybe losing a second or two, and that's about it. Oh my god, that was close. I thought Aggie was gonna bonk there for sure. But surviving and then moving on to the Goomba room. Ooh, Aggie losing the dive input there. His dive input just got dropped there while he was trying to do the pipe suck.
Yep, and we'll see how good the Goombas are going to be for Aggie. They're looking pretty nice right now.
Yeah, he got some decent RNG for sure because the Goomba came right towards him as he was making this spike pillar fall. And the mozurkz taking some unwanted bonks there at the end of Day Metro. Aggie's setting up for the very scary roll cancel turbo jump here, but making it look easy, getting it nice and clean. And then going to be moving on to the shot moon, and then going to be setting up for Snow Jam, probably the scariest part of the entire kingdom. But while Aggie buys a shot moon here, we can see mozurkz leaving the Day Metro Kingdom and moving on to the Snow Kingdom. Looks like the runners are about one full kingdom apart at this point.
And LilAggy about to enter Snow Jam.
Yeah, this could be very scary if he messes it up. If he messes this up like 2, 3, maybe 4 times, that could put mozurkz right back in this race for sure. But we'll have to see what happens for him. Ooh, actually taking a bonk, trying to get on top of the Odyssey there. Setting up for the trick, using some first person setup. This looks good. Ooh, no! Dang, I thought that looked good. That must have been very close. That's very unfortunate. That's a full 15 seconds gone from Aggie right there. Every time we fail this, it's a full 15 seconds gone. Aggie setting up for a second try here. Okay, getting it second try. Very unfortunate that he messed that up first try.
So yep, LilAggy leaving Snow Kingdom as mozurkz enters.
Yeah, mozurkz enters Shiveria here. And Aggie moving on to the Seaside Kingdom. Seaside not being that hard. The first half of Seaside is really difficult, but then after that you get a little bit of a break, whereas you get to just swim around with the fish for a little bit and just grab a couple easy moons. And it looks like mozurkz is opting to do the Snow Jam route, so we'll be seeing him do Snow Jam at the very end here. Okay, getting a good beginning to the Luncheon Kingdom here. Ooh, struggling to get on that edge right there, or that ledge right there, but making it up to this coastside moon, not too bad at all.
Yeah, Luncheon Kingdom got a bit of an upgrade. Got a bit of a makeover.
Did I say Luncheon?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I did. I meant to say Seaside. My bad.
It's okay. I mix up Lake and Seaside all the time, so it's fine.
And ooh, mozurkz finishing off this blowy Joey room here. Well, ooh, that's Aggie taking a very unfortunate bonk in this 2.5D area here.
I literally said the name of these enemies like 2 minutes ago. Why? Like,
What?
Typhus. It's
No,
the
they're Billy.
actual name of. It's the actual name.
No, it's blowy Joey's, dude. It's
It-
blowy
it- that
Joey's.
is- If so, if I open up the capture list right now,
It'll say blowy Joey, promise.
how do we spell that?
Blowy, Blowy, Joey.
It's a GOEY.
Oh, I meant J.
I know.
Yeah,
Alright, LilAggy getting the rocket flower refresh. And gonna be going to capture that Cheep in the water and gonna be getting the final moons underwater as
oh,
this fish does not want to be captured and it's just like give him a little kiss instead.
Taking a little bit of damage on the fish there. And Mozark's dying in the Goomba room. Very unfortunate. Not getting a good roll cancel at all.
Yeah, luckily that jump is pretty easy with a long jump, but that is one of the slowest forms of jumps. So
Yeah.
it is. You typically don't want to do that. You want to use your triple jump.
Yeah, for sure. Long jumps being the slowest movement option in the game. Okay, Mozart's going to be setting up for a snow jam here. Hopefully he's able to get it first try on like a LilAggy. And it looks like Aggie is keeping that full kingdom lead right now. Okay, Mozart's doing the Cappy Vault, getting the Rainbow Swing, getting the dive, and making it onto the Snow Kingdom, or the Snow Dram Island the first try. As Aggie is moving on to the Luncheon Kingdom. A very scary kingdom where a lot of stuff can go wrong very easily, and your time can just dwindle away very easily if you make a bunch of mistakes.
Okay, LilAggy gonna be starting up Luncheon Kingdom.
Let's see if he can get the triple jump here right at the beginning. Getting the triple jump, getting the cat bounce, and making it up that wall very easily without much trouble at all. Ooh, Mozart's struggling here at the beginning of the Seaside Kingdom to climb this first wall, but climbing the second wall here without much trouble. Ooh, Aggie not getting the wall jump that he wanted there, and losing his height, but starting up the spirit fight now.
Am I the only one who's like waiting for the day that Bruncheon is actually viable and we completely skip Spewart altogether? Just no Spewart in any of the run.
It would be, I think, and then wouldn't that be the only two fights we would, or boss fights we would do in the entire run, or is the only two Beetles we would be in Bowser's, if that's actually a thing?
Yeah, pretty much. Because then you'd also be doing Lay Clip, which would skip the Rango. Yeah, so the first, you only boss fights you'd be doing would be Topper and Cap Kingdom, and then the two in Bowser's Kingdom. So you'd fight Topper twice and Harriet once.
Yep. And again, moving on to the second part of the Luncheon Kingdom here, after the Spirit boss fight. And Mozart's swimming around as a fish, doing the easy part of Seaside here, as I like to say it, while Aggie is going to be doing some wall jumps here, and they're going to be using a home and cat throw to quickly snag that Crepe Moon. Ooh, Aggie grabbing the worm. Can't grab the school turnip for the life of him at all. Very unfortunate time loss there.
Yeah, I just kept homing to the turnip that was already dug up, which kind of didn't need it anymore. Never
Yeah.
needed it in the first place.
You have to get that moon, you actually have to throw the golden one in there, so those white ones will not work.
Yeah, they'll give you a coin. If you want it, I guess.
Well, let's see if Aggie can make this Podobo cycle here. And it looks like he, in fact, made the cycle. Going to be capturing the Podobo very quickly here before moving on to the Forks Room. And mozurkz now leaving the Seaside Kingdom and moving on to the Luncheon Kingdom. Oh no, Aggie taking a death! Not what you want to see at all. He did not get the home and cat throw there onto the fork flinger, whatever you want to call it.
Right,
And,
so that dive is actually done to minimize the distance between Mario and the fork that he's capturing, so that you that you don't use as many frames like with Mario like doing his whole animation to get into the fork's mind or whatever. But if you kind of just miss the fork, yeah, it's keep going, and there's no real way to save it.
yeah, because you can't dive cancel. It's not a thing in this game. So once you dive, you're kind of set in location. You just gotta accept whatever happens. And mozurkz setting up for the Salt Triple, not getting it. Very unfortunate. Gonna have
It's
to
also
be...
a really it's also a really slow way of falling.
Yeah.
So especially in that room where like you're already pretty high above the death plane, it's just like it takes a while for you to actually die.
Yeah. And Aggie setting up for the turnip clip here. Does not like the turnip's location, so he's going to be re-throwing it. And going to be clipping into the cage with the Pamper here. This does not look like it's going to work. He's going to have to try a second time here.
Yeah, the turnip was in the right spot, but the pan bro was not put in the right spot, so it's kind of pushed him to the left instead of into the cage.
Yeah. Aggie going to be grabbing 3 more moons before finishing off the torch moon here. And then the little mountain moon, and then the multi-moon at the very end. With the meat. And he's scaling this mountain here very easily, and getting that ground pound. See if he can make it up to the meat without taking any unnecessary deaths or damage here. Looks like it, and he's going to be finishing off the kingdom right now. Oh, actually, missing that spin throw there, so he has to use his fork to fling himself back up, but a very nice backup for sure. And as Aggie is grabbing this final multi-moon, it looks like mozurkz is moving on to like the second half of the kingdom, I would say. After Spewer, and going to be grabbing a couple of moons before you're leaving. Going to be grabbing this mountain moon right here. Well, Aggie is moving on to the Ruined Kingdom boss fight. And mozurkz are grabbing this soup pot moon here. And they're going to be moving on to the salt pile isle and then the forks room. mozurkz opting to not go for the camera manip. Can he still make the Podobo cycle here? This is going to be a bit iffy if he's going to capture it. But he got it, okay. Made that cycle without the camera manip there, and moving on to the forks room. And it looks like mozurkz is not going to be taking an unneeded death there. And finishing up this forks room very quickly, way quicker than Aggie did. and not taking a death here.
Yeah, and LilAggy just having some fun with the walls. You can basically infinitely hover in these walls thanks to the home and cappy throws.
Yeah, and we use damage boost here to speed up the dragon fight just a little bit. And now we can watch Mozarkz setting up for the turnip clip here. While Aggie is just still slowly killing off this dragon. I don't like that turnip location. It might work. Yeah, okay, actually, it's
Yeah,
gonna
that
work.
was fine.
I didn't know if it would work or not, but it looked like it worked out for Mozark's first try there, in getting that turnip clip very quickly. And Aggie has one more cycle of this boss to go through before Mozarkz has to move on, while Mozark's moving on to the last part of the Luncheon Kingdom here. And Mozart's going for that very fast cappy vault there into a triple jump up this mountain. And they're going to be doing a blind, or a little bit of a blind ground pound there. And moving on, actually diving over the Pepto-Bismol there. And moving on to the meat capture before finishing off the Luncheon Kingdom. While Aggie is keeping his one kingdom lead and finishing off the Ruined Kingdom. And Mozart's finishing off the Luncheon Kingdom here and moving on to the Ruined Kingdom boss fight. I think while we have some downtime here, I would like to thank our sponsor for this race once again, Vi.gg. Use exclamation point bet in the chat if you want to check them out, and make sure you are of legal betting age in a country or a place where you can bet legally. Definitely want to thank them for sponsoring all the tournaments we have here on GSA. And Aggie is landing in the Bowser's Kingdom now. Okay, Aggie moving on to this first pylon capture here. I don't think we're going to be seeing Aggie. Yeah, Aggie's opting not to do the Pokio Drain here, where you can use Pokio, use a capture warp to grab the moon behind the wall here, but a lot of runners opt not to do it. It's the same speed as the crate moon. And our runners already know how to do the crate moon, so they're opting not to learn the Pokio Jam. I believe the only runner that does that right now is Equan, the world record holder.
Right, and so the ogre has been killed, and we are now moving on to the Shards Moon.
Yeah. This Shards Moon being very scary because there's a lot of places where you can just mess up little movement things and then just lose little bits of time everywhere. Definitely one of the scarier parts of the Bowser Kingdom. Okay, Aggie grabbing this first shard. Let's see if he's able to get the dive back here. Second one, ooh, missing the home and cap throw and having to not do the dive back shot there and have a little bit of an awkward back up there. Grabbing the third one, grabbing the fourth shard, and then going to be capturing a Pokio to grab the very last shard here and busting open this crate with a bomb. And Mozart's finishing off the Ruined Kingdom boss, and about to kill the dragon right here. Yeah, killing the dragon without too many issues at all.
And yep, LilAggy setting up his camera angle so he can just do this the safer way and just jump on top of the roof immediately.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a quicker way where you can use the capture warp to instantly capture that pylon, but that being a lot more difficult than what Aggie did there. And Aggie moving on to the Harriet boss fight here. These two boss fights aren't too difficult for runners at this level. They don't typically have too many problems with it. And Aggie actually not opting to go for the first person shots here. Just playing this boss fight safe. And yeah, not too much to say about the Harriet boss fight. But mozurkz is leaving the Ruined Kingdom now. Aggie killing Harriet, and now moving on to the topper fight. While mozurkz is just now starting up the Bowser's Kingdom. See if I'm able to get that be good. And Aggie killing. Ooh, actually no, Aggie messing up the final hit on topper there, having to take a little bit of an extra cycle there. And mozurkz about to kill this ogre here. Actually having some trouble with the ogre, not making him drop the box there right away. Now Aggie moving on to probably this one of the scariest parts of the entire run. Then be having to do a blind troll jump here to grab this crate moon. Gonna be doing the Pokio climb and then moving on to the Mecha Brutal fight. There's still a lot of time you can lose in just this section alone. He definitely lose upwards of minutes if he has some mistakes here.
Yeah, unfortunately, mozurkz at this point is just relying on LilAggy to make mistakes. It's no real place for mozurkz to do much to make up his own time. Just play as to the best of his ability and hope at this point.
mozurkz having some issues, or unfortunate time losses in this race, and he's just too far behind to really make anything happen unless Aggie makes some big mistakes here. And Aggie finishing up the Pokio climb here and moving on to the Mecha Brute boss fight. This boss fight being very scary, and if you mess it up, you can definitely lose upwards of minutes if you don't know how to back it up properly. Aggie beginning the ooh, having a little bit of trouble there, backing it up nicely, and finishing up this climb and killing off Rango, and moving on to the topper kill here. Oh no! Falling off the mech completely!
Especially during the third phase, that is not good.
It's the... yeah. Able to grab a Pokio here though, and gonna be able to climb up here without too much trouble, but that's definitely a very unfortunate time loss for sure.
Oh, it's the second phase, my mistake, sorry.
Yeah.
And it looks like...
oh no, falling off the mech again! This is what I was talking about.
only have one health now.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. If you don't know how to back this up, you can lose so much time here. This boss fight being very slow to do the normal way. So it looks like mozurkz, if Aggie keeps this up, we could definitely potentially even see a lead change at this point. It seems unlikely because so far mozurkz is behind, but it could still happen. This race is by no means over. Okay, Aggie killing Spirit third, and then gonna be moving on to the Harriet kill there. Aggie having a very unfortunate Mecha Brutal boss fight. Falling off again! Oh my god, this is so rough for Aggie. Having to climb the mech one more time. This has been a very unfortunate mech fight for Aggie.
Meanwhile, mozurkz is just finishing up Topper.
And that was so unfortunate for Aggie, though. He pretty much had to do that boss fight the intended way all the way through. He did not get any of the strats there on that boss fight, pretty much. And the mozurkz are moving on to the second half of the Bowser's Kingdom here. Gonna be setting up to get this Crate Moon, doing the Pogo Climb, and then doing the Mecha Brutal fight. If he pulls off all of this movement cleanly, he could definitely make up some massive time on Aggie, for sure. And as I say that, he takes damage to the Pokio there. Ooh, okay. That could have been a lot worse for mozurkz there for sure. Definitely a nice backup. He could have very easily died there.
Right, good reaction time from mozurkz, able to realize where he was and figure out better routes than just falling off a cliff.
Yeah, for sure. And Aggie leaving the Bowser's Kingdom here, and then moving on to the Moon Kingdom.
As mozurkz is about to start Mecha Brutal.
Indeed. Hey, let's see if mozurkz can have a better mech than Aggie did and pull off this entire boss fight sequence very cleanly. Okay, getting the first two brittle kills there very clean. Making it back on top of the mech here.
He's able to recover and just waiting out the invincibility period.
And it looks like mozurkz opting to go for Harriet third in the target acquired strat. Killing Harriet third, making his way back onto the mech, and going to be setting up for the target acquired strat. And just like that, killing Spirit, target acquired.
Target acquired.
And if we look back on Aggie's screen here, he is setting up for the Moon Cave Skip. Hopefully he's able to do that without too many problems here.
Against the moon jump vectors while using the rocket flowers.
And making up that wall very easily there. And they're going to be starting up the Bowser boss fight here. It may look like the runners are very far apart, but like maybe even just a death on 2D skip maybe could definitely put mozurkz back in this race.
Alright, mozurkz is just now leaving Bowser's Kingdom.
And Aggie hitting Bowser away for this first phase here. And you have to Aggie having to wait out this fire phase here. There's no way to really speed that part up other than just dodging the fire. Ooh, that was a little bit awkward. Maybe I'm surprised he got that. He got the second phase there. And Aggie moving on to the final phase of the Bowser boss fight here, while mozurkz just now landing in the Moon Kingdom. And Aggie starting up the escape sequence here. That's what I'm talking about. A death here could definitely put give mozurkz a chance to catch up if he plays everything properly.
Yeah, mozurkz is about to start the moon cave skip. That is very true.
Okay, Aggie's starting up this 2D section here. Hopefully he's not going to have too much trouble with it, but we'll have to see what happens. Setting up for 2D skip here, getting it first try, making it look very, very easy. And then moving on to the final section of this escape sequence, the Pillars room. Well, mozurkz is just now starting up this Bowser boss fight. As long as Aggie does not mess anything up here, it looks like he will be getting mid to high 105.
Yep, just gotta go through the Pillars room.
Yeah.
And those fireballs are kind of wide.
Yeah, not getting early Poa there. Gonna have to go back around and knock that pillar down at the very end. Typically, what you want to do is shoot fireballs like Aggie did there, and make sure enough of those fireballs hit that first pillar to knock it down, and immediately move on to the second pillar. But Aggie not being able to do that. So he's gonna have to knock down that last pillar after this one here. Yeah, gonna have to knock down that pillar right there. I'm still gonna be getting a very low 105. Not a bad time at all from Aggie. Aggie getting a 105.09 for his race time. Not a bad time at all.
As mozurkz is just starting up his escape sequence, it's gonna be about a 107. Looking into.
And it looks like we have little Aggie in the call with us today for the post-race interview. What do you think about your run, Aggie? What do you have to say about, let's start with Mech. What do you have to say about Mech?
Well, it didn't go the way I wanted it to.
You sure?
It was probably the worst mech I've had in the past 10 months. But, yeah, first off, sorry for the voice. I'm a little sick and losing my voice, but, yeah, that was really bad. There were moments of brilliance sprinkled in there, but it was mostly a really bad run for me.
Yeah, but...
yeah, so Metro went well. Wooded went pretty decent. Those are probably the highlights. Everything else, not great. Not great at all. But I think this really goes to show, because I've been watching the race as I've gone. But, like, it's not that I really played that much better than mozurkz. I just happened to make much less costly mistakes than he did.
Right.
Yeah. But you won the race here, and you're going to be moving back into the winner's bracket. So avoiding getting removed from the tournament entirely here. So you must be happy about that.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a pog from me. Always happy to go as far as I can.
This is still the loser's bracket, unfortunately. You still are
right. Well, yeah, but I am in it still.
Yes, you still are surviving.
And I think we're probably approaching top 8 at this point.
Yes, we're very close.
Or top 8. I'm not sure what's next.
Let's see here. So, kind of hard to say with you know, the whole debacle that happened yesterday.
Oh right. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 10 of you left now.
All right.
I think. Oh, 11. I forgot Chaos Pringle. Because he's like 2 rounds ahead of everyone else in the losers rounds.
And mozurkz getting a 107.49.
Mozurkz joining us
And,
as well now.
Hello.
Hello, Mozarks. How do you feel about your run? Do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I don't know. It was fine. It was pretty bad, but you know, you win some, you lose some.
What are you talking about? I didn't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, a 107 with the deep woods. I'm, you know, maybe there are some people out there who now realize how much time can be saved in the late game. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else you want to say about your run, Mozarks?
Yeah. So I don't know. Honestly, it wasn't like that big of a deal to me. You know, like stuff happened. Stuff happened. I already
that's
got
not
yelled at before.
Great.
I already did this before. I'm so bad. I'm sorry, Milo. You're out there. I apologize. Yeah. Stuff happens. It could have gone better. I could have done a lot better, but GG Aggie. Wish I could have given you a better race.
Yep, GG, bud. Me too. It wasn't a beautiful run for me either.
Your start looked hot. You're up until Metro.
Yeah. I mean, I was like plus 15 out of Metro, which is like pretty decent pace.
I'm pretty
but,
sure
like,
that was better than my best pace ever out of Metro by a couple seconds, like maybe 10 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this run really showed me that like I can easily step my game up and
Mm-hmm.
kind of push my time down a lot.
Yeah, that's what we like to see. We know you like to grind runs a lot every day, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is that all you guys want to say about your run?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, and
I think I'm good too.
before we end off here, I would like to thank our sponsor one more time, Vi.gg. Use !bet in the chat to find out more information about them, and make sure you are of legal betting age in whatever country you're living in. And yeah, that's all for me. I believe I don't know if we have any more races for today. I can check the schedule. It looks like we have Super Metroid race coming up next. And yeah, that's all for me. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night.
Good night.